Is the fanny pack making a comeback? I don't know. In this video, I will show you guys the equipment that we use to hook our instruments directly into that include the wireless packs that send our signal to the soundboard, as well as a self-monitoring system. These self-monitors are crucial to the success of your group and help your students play with better intonation. Now, you may or may not already know this, but these electric instruments are solid body, which means there's no chamber for the sound to be amplified out of. So it makes them very hard to hear, and they're very soft when played without an electrical source. Now, imagine for a minute that you're playing one of these instruments and you've got floor monitors on the stage playing the rhythm section, the drums, guitars, piano, you hear vocal singers. There are also other string instruments that are coming out of these speakers. It would be very hard to tell what you were playing if you weren't able to hear it. The sound of my group when I first started the electric orchestra had some issues, and the main issue was our group's intonation. Now, my kids played with great intonation when we played on our acoustic instruments in class, but when we started playing electric instruments, I noticed that the intonation suffered greatly. The reason behind this was that my kids could not hear their own instruments. So if they were playing out of tune, they had no idea that they were playing out of tune. So I had to come up with a way for my students to be able to be transmitted to our sound system, as well as have a source to monitor their own playing. So I did a little bit of research online, and I found these great headphone amps that were fairly inexpensive and a great solution to provide a monitoring source for my kids so they could hear themselves playing with the rest of the group. So these are our fanny packs that we've got for our electric orchestra members that all our string players use. I purchased these at Walmart on their website in their outdoor section. They're fairly inexpensive, and I like to get the black ones because they blend in a lot better when we're doing our performances. I didn't want something that caught the eye. These blend in very, very well. Let's take a look inside of what we've got inside these fanny packs. The first component that is important here is our wireless units. I use the Shure BLX series, and I have 18 of these running simultaneously. I'll go into a little more depth about our wireless system in my next video. The other component that we have inside these bags is our ear monitoring system. The ear monitoring system that we have is our Rolls PM55P personal monitor amp. It provides a monitoring source for my kids. These are powered by 9-volt batteries. I wasn't able to find any other product out there that was powered by batteries, and that was very important to me. It has a couple microphone inputs, although I don't use those with my kids. But there is an input here for an instrument cable that can go directly from the pack to the instrument. Okay, and the instrument plugs into there. That's our input. Okay, you notice there's a couple buttons here, stereo, mono. I want to flip it to stereo, so that way the kids can hear it out of both headphones. Many of my kids usually just put one earbud in, and it allows them to hear their instrument in one ear and be able to hear the rest of the group out of their other ear. I always have my kids have their levels turned all the way up. We can adjust at the soundboard if we need to, their volume levels there. Having a full volume sends a nice full signal to the soundboard for processing over there, okay? There are two outputs here where it says headphones. One is a 1/4-inch jack. That's where we plug in our wireless unit, so it sends sound to the soundboard. Then there's another output here where the kids can plug in their earbuds. That's where the sound comes out, and the kids can hear themselves while they're playing. Now, the tone quality is not the best, but it gives them the pitch of their instrument they're playing, and they can monitor their intonation. And using these has significantly improved the sound of my group. Okay, and there's just a simple on-off switch. The light turns green when you have it on. You can turn the limiter on if you want. These are about 80 bucks online, and they have significantly helped the sound of my group. I highly recommend, if you're going wireless, you have to use some kind of personal monitoring system. These are a lot cheaper than the wireless monitors that are out there. That's a whole nother system. I haven't dived into that yet. Now I'll show you guys how we have these packs hooked up. We start with just the fanny pack empty like so. There are some pockets here in the front you can keep extra batteries in. And I place the monitor box inside here with the white button at the top facing to the left if you're looking at the front of the fanny pack, okay? Now I did cut a small hole here on the side so this cable can feed through and plug in to the monitor input right here. What this hole does is allows the end of this cable to move freely outside the box without being pinched down inside the bag. Cables go bad when you have them pinched down like that. That's where you have wire shorts and then you lose your sound that way. It's very important that you get these instruments in tune. We use the same 1/4-inch cable that plugs into the box to plug into these tuners to get our instruments in tune. These instruments don't blend very well, even with the slightest intonation problems. So you've really got to make sure those instruments are tuned right on the money. It's hard to hear by ear, so I highly recommend using a tuner to tune these electric instruments. The next step is our wireless packs, and I have these labeled so kids know which wireless channel they're on. Okay, and I have the guitar wireless setups from Shure, the BLX series. And I place that inside the box with the antenna facing up. You can lightly coil the cable inside and you're gonna plug it in where it says headphones right there in the 1/4-inch out. Now for your next step, you've got your headphones. Now there are a couple of different types of headphones out there. Some of them have these triple rings on them. Sometimes those don't work. Those are like the headphones that have these buttons on it where you can control the volume, like on an iPhone or something like that. If you've got these buttons on there, sometimes those headphones don't work with these headsets. If you want to just use a normal cheap pair of earphones from the dollar store or something like that, they don't have to be nice. The sound quality that comes out of these boxes aren't that great anyway, but they do provide the pitch for them. Okay, you take that cable and you plug it in right here next to the wireless, and then you've got your output. I recommend using earbuds, the kind that go inside your ear. Those are less likely to fall off. You'll notice my headphones are going out of the back behind me and through my shirt down to the wireless pack. What that does is it eliminates interference of the cable and the bow arm. When I first started this, I had kids running their headphones through the front and they would get caught up in the cord, and running it back here is just one of those things that I learned along the way that helps eliminate that problem. Also, running that cable back over the shoulder on either this instrument or the Stingrays is going to help eliminate a lot of issues when the kids are bowing on their instruments. I only recommend getting about a 3-foot 1/4-inch cable. That way your kids aren't tripping over the cords. Once you get that plugged into the instrument, into your box, you should be ready to go and you should have sound at your sound system. I'm telling you, these personal monitor systems are great and will help the sound of your group immensely, especially with their intonation. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell for notifications. Keep an eye out for my next video where I go a little more in depth about our wireless system and talk about my speakers, amps, and mixer that run my electric orchestra. Thanks for watching and rock on!